Hello from Gardening at Douentza here in Ireland, and it is very early March at the moment, so there's lots to do in the garden, and I just thought I'd kick off the gardening year by giving you a little tour around of the garden and just talking about what's going on right now. Okay, let's check it out. Well, as you can see, it's a beautiful sunny day here at Douentza, but really cold. There was thick frost in the ground today, so it wasn't a good day for weeding at all. I had to go out, had to do pruning, and we'll see the result of that very shortly, and some other few things. There's a blue sky, which is always welcome, always great for raising the spirits. And down here you can see that work is underway on the border. So the Stipa gigantea have been cut back, and there's a video of me doing that last year if you need further instructions. And over here in this border, still we have a lot of bare branches at the moment. The rhododendron will look amazing in time, but not for the moment. And we have this tree peony just bursting full of promise. I love the buds on tree peonies. They look so strange, just kind of sitting above the, I don't know, I suppose where the leaves come from. And this one has been pruned, and pruning of tree peonies is really quite different to the pruning of the herbaceous ones. But it just helps show off the plant so much more once it's done. Here is my constant friend in the garden. He always turns up to see what I turn up, but he's completely unfaithful. Anybody else working in the garden and he's over there like a shot as well. There's something really jolly about robins. I guess their small size as well just makes them very cute little birds. Over here in this border we can see that the pruning of the Sambucus trees has taken place, and there's a little robin there just showing off my good work. And again, of course, there was a video about this earlier on. This border has been cleaned up now, and there's some evidence over there of the pruning that I just did today on that second Sambucus down there. So that all needs to be mulched now. And down here we can see that the snowdrops are just going over, and I do have so many of them now. And that was down to the division work I did 2 years ago when the French girls were here, and we divided this lot of snowdrops, and it's just such a shame that we missed them. Here we can see just a few flowers hanging on and so many seed heads. See those there? Now I don't mind my snowdrops seeding around the place because I only have one type of snowdrop. I have Galanthus nivalis, which is the common snowdrop, and therefore I don't have to worry about my fancy expensive snowdrops crossbreeding with just the common one. I can just let it do its stuff. And over here by the holly tree we can see that the sedums have been divided. Now this is Sedum Autumn Joy, and you may recall that in my things to do in autumn video I mentioned how these plants desperately needed to be divided, and guess what, I got round to it, I did it. So these have all been divided, and yeah, I did this lot in autumn, so I expect great things from them this year. And of course at this time of year, when we're really very much still in winter, structure is so important in the garden. So these box balls just do a good job of just hanging in there and providing some focal point, some point of interest when there's very little else going on. And grasses look super as well at this time of year, especially this New Zealand tussock grass. It's quite evergreen or ever red, and just so tactile and movement. It provides such great movement. And of course this time of year is just brilliant for hellebores. I really have quite a variety at this stage, and of course all the leaves have been cut back, so we're really just looking at the bare stems, and this is the way to show off the flowers really well. I of course love double flowers. And this is also with the hellebores. I love the double hellebores. But they are difficult to see. I heard a wonderful idea from somebody else's garden once, where somebody had a large retaining wall and at the top planted it with hellebores, so that the hellebores were at eye level and you could look right into their beautiful faces. These ones are pickety ones, I think. And of course each one slightly different. And look at this mass of hellebores here. They're just gorgeous. That white one at the back, it's a double, and it does seem to hold its head up a little bit. I can't decide whether I need to move them to be with the other hellebores or just leave them be. And we have lots of different types. There's a single one here at the front. And all kinds of little things are beginning to pop up in the garden. And we can see one of them just over here behind the tree. And this is a variegated Hacquetia that's called Thor. Thor is its cultivar name. And look at these beautiful, sunny, pretty little flowers. Very like daisies, but more refined. And I just love them. Actually, maybe I should divide this, because it would look just wonderful if I had a whole patch of this beautiful flower in this area right by the tree. And of course it's primrose season, and I do have lots of them popping up in different places in the garden. You can see the yellow one there on the bottom left. Again, I've gone for the doubles. Double yellow. And this double purple one is also really pretty. This Euphorbia is an absolute favourite of mine in spring. It looks so gorgeous. See how the flower heads just bob around here on this dark foliage. Really pretty. It's a very kind of easy maintenance, low maintenance plant that just gets on and does its stuff. And look at this rogue new leaf on the Melanosolenum. It's just so red. It just kind of waves there. It's like a hand sticking up. So there's the plant, and it just sticks up in the middle and goes, hey, over here. And all kinds of bushes are beginning to shoot into flower now. Always so welcome. And on our garden tour, I want to introduce you to somebody. This here is Abigail. Hi, Abigail.
Hello, I'm Abigail. I'm from Tallahassee, Florida in the United States. Really exciting.
Okay, brilliant. And you're helping me out here in the garden this spring.
Yes. So right now I'm getting rid of some bamboo canes just so that this area looks a little bit better and we can see each bamboo plant individually. And so once I've done that, I'm taking out some of the branches just so that it looks better, but it doesn't actually hurt the bamboo plant. It just helps them look pretty and feel good about themselves.
You're sure about that now?
Yes, I've asked them. They've answered. They said, "Thank you so much. I love a haircut." So.
You got some good help here today, Abigail.
Oh, of course.
Moral support, at least.
Yes, yes. Yeah, she tells me which ones I should keep and which ones I shouldn't.
Perfect. And while Abigail takes a break, I want to show you some of the structure I put in the garden last autumn. Now, as you can see, we have these beech columns here that are still asleep, but they will be beautiful green beech columns soon enough. And I've kind of echoed them over here by the installation of these new beech columns. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and I know they look very wimpy and not very exciting at the moment, but just imagine when they're as big and bushy as the other ones over there. We'll have a whole little enclosed space going on, and one design idea echoing another, which is always a great idea. But there's more I did last autumn. And now we're down at the very front of the garden, and you can see my beech hedge there, and some of you will recall I planted an extension of that beech hedge last autumn and made a video about it, which you can see if you care to. But I also did something else, which I don't know if you can see behind it yet. Now, you may recall last autumn I was lamenting this section of the garden because it's so very, very stony, and the fact that I could get nothing to grow in that circle there. There had been a small willow, a dwarf willow tree in the middle, which has been taken out, and I had been toying with the idea of planting grasses in here. But instead, what I've done is I've planted beech. Lots and lots of bare root beech. And there we go. And all of these I'm going to be keeping clipped in a cylinder type shape. So it'll just be a mass that comes up and a cylinder that's cut across the top like that, like regularly. So it's structure, a piece of structure. Now I know the beech does well in this part of the garden, and there's little else can be doing well there. Look, just a few of the stones that got excavated as the beech got planted in. So it is a very stony area. So I'm actually very pleased with this. It's a low maintenance idea that will add a lot of interest and structure to the garden. And yeah, so let's see how that leaves up in spring. It's going to look great. And for those who saw my iris video, my Reticulata Iris video, this is the spot where they're planted, and as you can see they've gone over now, but that's okay. They were wonderful while they were in bloom. And that really is the key to success if you want to have an all year round garden, not just something that looks good at one particular time in year. You need to plant things for different seasons of interest, and it does a great job of encouraging me to come out as well and to do the work that needs to be done in the garden, because I want to get out and I want to see those little spring gems popping up and looking gorgeous. And I guess that brings me to the end of this quick look around the garden in early March, which I hope you enjoyed. Lots of bare soil on display, but lots of exciting things popping up here and there. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll check back soon for lots more gardening fun. Bye for now.